Calling all warriors to the chat. Calling all warriors to the chat. Let's go. Can we get some purple hearts for the survivors and some bells for the angels? Give me 1 second, please. Having a breakdown. Thank you for your patience. Let's get this show on the road. 5 in the morning, I wake up to 5 for my eyes.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Listen, if nobody bigs you up, you gotta big up yourself. Yes. Shout out to my solar plexus today. That's right. Listen, I am so sorry, y'all. I don't know. I looked at that picture of Aaliyah and something. She spoke to me. Yeah, very unexpected, like breakdown, much needed. I haven't cried or anything since for a while for this. Maybe since the last trial, the conviction. But yeah, today, trigger warning. Lisa Van Allen took the stand and spoke on a lot of things. She broke down. Today, I'm here a little earlier than usual. I have something I got to do, but tomorrow we're going to do it up, okay? So I'll come in a little later than usual for the Friday night. And if you guys can, come through and let's just really hash shit out tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow, okay? So, listen, let me do my thing. Peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, the warrior baby, and I'm here with another live court recap. Yep, that's right. Today was day 9 of R. Kelly's federal Chicago trial. Anticipated witness Lisa Van Allen got on the stand today. Yes, I'm here a little, like I said, a little earlier, but we're going to do it tomorrow. So just today is just the testimony. Okay, I had a video I found. Well, actually, shout out to, oh my goodness, who sent me the video of the man who found the tape in his basement. It turned out to be his basement. So we'll play that tomorrow and some other little extras. Tomorrow might be deep too because Van Allen is going to be cross-examined tomorrow. So imagine if she broke down on the stand today with the prosecution, what's going to happen tomorrow? We're going to have to wait and see. Let's get into, let me first and foremost, obviously, 21 years to go today, we lost this beautiful soul, Aaliyah Houghton. The one, the only, she was one in a million. Rest in peace, rest in power, rest in paradise, baby girl. Now you should be able to rest. Okay? Yeah, high vibes to all for sure. Thank you, Alexis. That's right, day 9. Listen, Aaliyah has been here the whole way. If you go back into my archives, if you haven't listened to the reading I did with Aaliyah, that one is really, really good. All of them are actually, but yeah, she's at the forefront of this spiritual battle, best believe, and that's exactly what this is. In case anybody's confused, in case anybody wants to blame it on the quote unquote fast girls, the quote unquote thoughts the quote unquote gold diggers, or whatever it is they want to call these girls, who really, some haven't grown into women yet, because they are still, their inner children are still driving in the driving seat of the vehicle. Oh, Shamina, yes, Shamina sent me the video. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Whew. I'm emotional. All right, let me give me a second. We're gonna get into the testimony. Let's get into the testimony.
Fuck you, R. Kelly, bitch!
That's for everybody and their mama. Motherfucker. All right. Just gather myself. Give me a second. All right. Testimony is set to resume soon in R. Kelly's child pornography obstruction of justice trial. Okay. Today's first witness is Lawrence Beaumont. And actually, let me change the scene because we haven't gotten Elisa yet. This one is quick, but we do start off with the polygraph / I guess he was a lawyer / polygraph examiner. And he is the person who's said to have given the polygraphs to Lisa Van Allen and her, I guess, boyfriend at the time, Keith. So let's go back to the courtroom. Take a seat. Yeah, that's the best one I got. Okay. Let's get it. Today's first witness is Lawrence Beaumont, an attorney and polygraph examiner. Kelly's former defense attorney, Ed Jensen, hired him in 2007, the year before Kelly's Cook County trial, to administer polygraphs. He testifies. At Jensen's request, Beaumont gave polygraph tests to Lisa Van Allen and Keith Murrell. He testified. Both Van Allen and Murrell are expected to take the stand later in the trial and talk about their efforts to recover the tapes showing Kelly sexually abusing Jane. The polygraph test related to the obstruction charges. Prosecutors allege they demonstrate the lengths Kelly's team went to buy the tapes and keep them secret. One of the polygraph tests was administered at Beaumont's office in the Monadnock building, which incidentally I can see from the window of the overflow room as I type this. On cross-examination, McDavid attorney Glossman, emphasizing how prominent Jensen was. Part of their argument is that McDavid was merely carrying out direction from Kelly's well-respected legal team. Notice they're blaming all the attorneys and who have since passed away. We're talking Jensen as well as Linda Minch. All right. In parentheses, it says Glossman incidentally worked closely with Jensen before Jensen's death. All right, here we go. Now on the stand is Lisa Van Allen testifying for the prosecution. Van Allen also testified against Kelly at his Cook County proceedings back in 2008. I think she might be the only witness to take the stand at both that trial and this trial. Damn. Van Allen testifies that she met Kelly at a video shoot in 1998 when she was 18. They had sex in his trailer, and later on she went to Chicago to see him again, she says. Van Allen moved to Chicago not long afterward. Kelly kept making her miss her flights when she visited, she said. I told him I couldn't keep missing my flights. I'll get fired. He asked me, what did I make? And I told him. He ended up just giving me the cash. Kelly often directed her what to do and what to say when they were having sex, Van Allen testifies, and would sometimes videotape their encounters. Kelly did not allow her to speak to or make eye contact with other men and would hit her if she didn't, quote, listen to daddy, end quote, Van Allen testifies. Van Allen met Jane, Kelly's goddaughter, in 1998. Jane would have been 14 or 15 at the time, but Kelly told Van Allen she was 16. Van Allen says, the three of them had a sexual encounter in the log cabin room, which Kelly filmed with a camcorder on a tripod, Van Allen says. In 1999, the three had another filmed sexual encounter. Van Allen did not want to participate and started crying, she says. Kelly said, what was he going to do with this? I guess because it wouldn't have been good footage to catch if I'm on there crying. Kelly would carry around his VHS sex tapes in a duffel bag, Van Allen says. You could hear them shuffling in the bag when he put it down or carry it or walk with it. Eventually, I went in the bag and saw them. In the year 2000, Jane told Van Allen that she would be getting a PT Cruiser for her 16th birthday. Van Allen was upset since she had been under the impression that Jane was 16 2 years earlier, during their first sexual encounter. After that, Van Allen says, I didn't want to do any more threesomes. I didn't want to do the first ones, but I definitely didn't want to do any more encounters because she was 14, exclamation point. She had to be 14. At one point in 2000, Van Allen realized she was alone with the bag full of tapes and went looking for any tape she was on. I didn't want him in possession of them. I didn't want to do the threesomes. I didn't want him looking at them or having them in possession. Van Allen is crying on the stand, describing one of the tapes, which she showed Kelly and Jane together, and then the three of them together, which showed Kelly and Jane together, and then the three of them together. Kelly refers to Jane's 14-year-old body part, Van Allen says. Jurors heard that same phrase in different footage last week. Van Allen took the tape and gave it to her friend Keith, she says. Eventually, she moved back to Atlanta, though she and Kelly would stay in touch. Years later, in 2007, Van Allen learned the videotape might have been for sale. She didn't want it out there and thought Kelly would help her get it back. He had an upcoming trial for a similar tape, and on this one, it actually said how old she was. Van Allen met Kelly at his Olympia Fields mansion, and Kelly said he would give her $250,000 to get the tape back. He also told her to deal with co-defendant Daryl McDavid, quote, from this point forward, end quote, she testified. Van Allen and Keith brought the video to Chicago, and both polygraphs. Daryl McDavid watched the video with Van Allen in a hotel room and asked her, quote, was that all of it, end quote, she testifies. Van Allen and Keith got $20,000 apiece from McDavid, she says. Later on, after another round of polygraphs, she got $50K and Keith got $80K. McDavid gave her less because he blamed her for having to make a payout in the first place, she testified. McDavid later told Van Allen that she had failed a third polygraph, and he said, quote, they should have murked me from the beginning, end quote. Van Allen is audibly emotional as she describes this. Okay, let me come over here. Okay. After that, at McDavid's behest, she made a false statement to a lawyer denying she ever had any sexual contact with Jane. Quote, he told me to say it, and I was afraid not to do what he asked, end quote, she says. She breaks down crying. Quote, I never knew they were thinking about killing me, end quote. Van Allen says she was upset about that comment and told McDavid she would tell Kelly about it. Quote, he said, quote, Rob knew everything that was going on, she says in an emotional voice, meaning Rob greenlit this. So If you got to go, you got to go. Okay, so I guess they went on a break, and then she's going to get back on the stand with the cross-examination. I believe exact everything she's saying about the threats. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. A rap in a better place, exactly. I'm sorry, I know I didn't say hi to everybody, but hi, everybody. Hey, Warriors, I know, I appreciate you being here. Mr. may be illiterate and street smart, but I'm glad his ass wasn't smart enough when it came to them tapes. Okay, got his ass in trouble. Such a waste. So many talents that were lost also. Oh yeah, God complex. That's right, Alexis. Okay, I'm gonna get back. So we're gonna be coming back now to cross. Van Allen back on the stand. McDavid's attorney, Bo Brindley, begins the same way he did with Chuck Freeman, asking if a person who lies is someone who can be trusted. She said, depends on the circumstances. Were they threatened? That's right, girl. Let them know. A person who feigns emotion while lying to try to manipulate others, is that a person you should trust? Brindley asked. Oh, so he's basically saying she's faking her tears. Wow. Van Allen says she doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he said with Freeman yesterday, Brindley is confronting Van Allen with discrepancies in her previous statements to law enforcement and a grand jury, mostly about who gave McDavid the video and when, and where and when it was watched. Van Allen breaks down sobbing as Brindley keeps pressing her. He asks if there is anything particularly sad, and that's in quotes, about asking her about grand jury testimony. She says, yes, and I'm tired of you asking me whether I watched child pornography! Exclamation point. She says, Brindley audibly scoffs. Brindley, mind you, I'm stepping out of this for a moment. She's a big threat to McDavid. This is McDavid's lawyer. Obviously, he's going to go harder on the witnesses who are directly accusing his attorney with proof, with their own testimony, direct testimony. Okay. Brindley asking about Van Allen's book, quote, Surviving the Pied Piper, The Untold Story, end quote. This book is for sale for money, right? She answers, most books are, yes. Well, I bought it, so I suppose you got some of my money, right? If you bought the book, thank you. You know what? That's so ignorant to me. I'm sorry. I'm coming out of this testimony. Like, how that is ignorant, and like, why do you have to? I don't understand why these attorneys have to resort to this type of questioning. I guess when they are up against the wall, when their clients are clearly guilty and have mountains of evidence against them. He also brings up the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, asking Van Allen if she demanded money to appear. Why would I demand money to raise awareness? I love doing that. Brindley asked why, if Van Allen's goal was to keep people from seeing the sex tape, she didn't just destroy it after she stole it from Kelly's gym bag. I could have if that thought had crossed my mind, she says. Instead, she sent it to a friend in Kansas City. Brindley pointing out that unlike other tapes that the jury has seen, prosecutors do not have the tape that Van Allen claims she stole from Kelly, which is referred to in the indictments as video 4. We have to rely on your word of what's on it, he says. Brindley has now twice referred to Jane by her real first name. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was by design. He's basically calling out the star witness by her first name in open court. Earlier today, Van Allen also mistakenly used her name And last week, Kelly's attorneys inadvertently displayed a check written out to Jane with her first and last name. So they basically have exposed Jane at this point. And as far as Van Allen goes, I mean, honestly, I don't know if that was just a slip of the tongue or if that was also done purposely as a vengeful tactic. Brinley is going to show Van Allen a portion from Surviving R. Kelly where she says that when she came across the video with me and him and the 14-year-old, I watched it, and as I fast forwarded some and I'd see scenes with just him and her only. Brinley is trying to impeach her on recollection, but it's a fine line. He now has repeatedly reinforced to the jury that there is a tape of Kelly and Van Allen and a 14-year-old girl. Exactly. He has basically further exposed and more pointedly exposed the fact, that there's more to the story. Brinley asking Van Allen whether R. Kelly called her about the tape or if she called him. She said she wasn't sure, then added, either way. It's not either way, Brinley says. In fact, it was one way or another. One thing is true and one thing is not. She's right, though. Either fucking way, man. The tape exists. We are getting to the alleged threat by McDavid after Van Allen failed a polygraph that they should have murked her instead of paying her. Quote, he was a business manager, end quote, Brinley says. You didn't have any reason to believe that he was some sort of murderous accountant, did you? Well, actually, we do, Brinley. I mean, R.I.P. Palladino, R.I.P. Minch. I'm just saying. Murder, She Wrote. I'm not playing that song for no reason. Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote. Allegedly. Okay, let me go on. Brinley confronting Van Allen with her Facebook messages with Keith Morrell in 2018, where she asked if she ever told him about why she was crying when we meet with Daryl with the tape. He said, we should have murked you from the beginning. I didn't tell you that, she wrote. The problem was, Brinley said, Van Allen previously testified that Morrell wasn't even in Chicago when it happened. It was a different meeting. Brinley, the reason for all of this changing of stories about Mr. McDavid is because the tape that you turned over to the lawyers in Chicago was not really a tape of Jane and you and Robert. That's why the story is so screwed up, right? No, it was a tape of us, she said. Brinley was just throwing out statements now. This is the reporter saying that. It was a tape of Robert and you and his wife, and that is what the whole thing is about, isn't it? Definitely not. I have never had any relationship with Drea ever. So he's just throwing out these wild, where are the objections? Oh, okay, here we go. After prosecutors object to a series of questions, Brinley promises the judge he's, quote, leading up, end quote, to his final point. All right, Lena Weaver grumbles, let's go. Brinley final points are about Van Allen saying she was 17 when she met R. Kelly, when she actually had just turned 18. Did she know that being 17 just made you a victim of federal child pornography? Honestly, I didn't, she said. Brinley asked whether, as an 18-year-old, she was aware it was a crime to have sex with a minor. That was not something we were thinking of at the time. I know I wasn't. And that's it for Brinley's cross. Okay, I'm gonna while I'm reading, I'm gonna drop the link in case anyone wants to join for some final thoughts on this. Okay. Brown's attorney had a lightning quick cross. Bongine will go tomorrow as we are adjourned for the day. Oh, okay. So I guess it's over. Let me see if I see anything else from another thread that wasn't maybe mentioned. Feel free to join me and, state your piece, speak your piece. You want to say RIP to Aaliyah. Let's go. Okay, Hazel. Okay, there we go.
Hey,
Hey, Hazel. Hey,
hey,
beautiful spirit.
goddess. Hey, chat.
Hello.
I just had a question. So is Brentley, is he R. Kelly's defendant or the other two?
He
One.
is McDavid's lawyer.
Okay, okay. Cause I noticed when he asked Van Allen about the tape, he basically admitted that to R. Kelly's crimes, that he's having, sexual relationship with a 14-year-old. And I'm like, you're dumb. You're dumb. Like, basically, you're trying to defend this client, yet you're admitting to the crime that he's being accused of. Like, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, they're not too bright. That's all I have to say.
Beautiful spirit.
Hey, beautiful
Hey,
spirit.
hey, Queens. How everybody doing? Shout out to all of us here. I was um I was reading. I'm listening to you guys dying. That none of them want to take own up, and take accountability to the role that they played in these crimes and abuse to these victims. But Lisa is making herself look kind of questionable, like she have been on all these interviews, because you got Freeman saying that he drove to Atlanta to her house. She opened the door, threw her hands in the air, pointed where the tape's at. He popped it in, took three of them, drove back with the two off-duty cops. Now she's saying that she gave him the key, and one interview she said she took one tape. We found out she took more than one. She gave him the key. Her and Keith went to R. Kelly and met up with McDavid. So it just make you wonder which tape, how many tapes. But I guess Bo Jean was right. It's so many tapes. She don't know which one it is.
But does it even matter about that
No, it
tape?
don't. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, because this fool had no business doing none of this mess.
Right.
He had no business assaulting nobody. You know.
Right, because I mean, yeah, her testimony may be a little questionable, like you said, because I agree. But at the same time, I don't think none of that matters to the jury. I mean, as long as
Yeah.
they've seen proof that
Right.
that there was tapes and she
Yeah.
was underage, I don't think they care about the actual
Yeah.
details of how it was taken and who had it and all that. None of
Yeah.
that matters.
I agree. I actually was going to say the same thing. Lisa Van Allen, though questionable as far as how she moved, she's clearly proven with direct testimony that Jane was the minor in on the tape or tapes that we all, and that's all we need. Damn everything
Yeah.
else. But she does have McDavid hemmed up. I gotta say.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
McDavid said those exact same threats about should have murked you long time ago to Jim Derek Goddess. I remember Jim Derek Goddess
Mm-hmm.
saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, he running around trying to act like he a hitman and a don and stuff. But this, I'm glad he getting caught up too.
But glad I got cleared up on that because I had gotten the story wrong. I thought it was R. Kelly that had threatened to kill her. I didn't know it was
Yeah, McDavid, he been
McDavid.
yeah, he
So
been threatening to pull. I think he pulled a pistol out on the other victim. The I don't want to say their names. But one of the ones that testified in the Brooklyn trial.
Mm. Not
Yeah, and said
surprised.
the same thing to
Rogers.
her. Nope. Pace.
Okay.
He
Okay,
said
well,
that
yeah.
should have killed her too. And he don't know why Rob let him come back and leave and stuff. And he basically took, I don't know if she was going to go cash one of the checks, and he was supposed to be taking her. And he told her the same thing about they should have got rid of her too long time ago. And so I guess that's his favorite line to say to people.
It actually makes me think if they haven't already taken somebody out and we just don't know about
Right.
it.
Are you guys listening to me at all?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Murder, she
goddess.
wrote. Hello, we got two bodies, two important key witnesses who are dead,
Yeah.
doc. Murdered.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do not question this. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I mean,
allegedly.
I'm talking about as
Allegedly.
far as
Allegedly.
victims.
Allegedly.
I mean, as far as victims, because we know Linda
Oh
mentioned her.
well,
I'm talking about
that's not
victims.
even a. I think we've already go watch Alexis Tyler R. Kelly readings. Have you seen her before, Alexis Tyler? She's off the chain and off
No,
the wall.
I've never heard of her.
Oh, I'm gonna send you a link.
Okay.
Well, but yeah, aside from that, and I just say that because that's kind of an inside thing with me and Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely bodies.
I
Yeah,
suspect it's a homicide somewhere with one of the, if not more than one victim. I always said that allegedly.
let me make a broad stroke here about some things. I
Hmm.
feel
Okay.
like what like I always say, please listen. We are scratching the surface of what is really happening, what has really happened here. I'm telling you, we are scratching the surface. They're not bringing forth a lot of stuff, and for their own reasons, obviously. But like the drugs, and we had a little alcohol action in this one, but there's more abortions.
Yeah.
Probably babies. He might have some other kids out there. I believe there are, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, which they be grown now, I guess, but or some of them. But I'm just saying that this is not a face value situation. What we're hearing and seeing is just not black and white. This is way deeper, way more. And I believe this is, I'm hoping this is just the beginning of more takedowns, because it's a whole lot of shit going on. And not just well, I would say Hollywood, but not just Hollywood, in the world. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Totally 100%. And I
But the
I feel like it's the more deeper things going on than what we know and have yet to seen yet. And
hmm I
yeah,
agree.
I
Yeah,
guess
some
this is
things
the
we'll never know.
beginning.
Some
Oh
Right.
things
yeah,
we'll never know.
I
Um,
believe that too.
a couple things about Van Allen that some of you may or may not have known, but in another thread, she met Kelly in '98 on a video shoot in Atlanta. She said he
Hmm.
asked me questions if I had a boyfriend. He asked me how old I was and would my mother let me come to Chicago. She said she was 17, but was actually 18. Not clear why she gave the wrong age. Soon after meeting, she moved to Chicago. We knew that. She said that Kelly put her up in a hotel and she hung out at the recording studio.
Hmm.
Um, and then, let's see, he was trying to get into the sexual proclivities, but Bonjean objects. I
She
thought
object to everything.
she does. As Julian asks about what Kelly said during sex, if he's allowed to talk to, if she's allowed to talk to other men, which we know she said she was an adult woman at the time under law. She said, um,
Yeah, but I mean, at 18, even though you're legal, you're still very much in a childlike mind, you know?
and she
So,
just turned 18 too. They said she just turned 18, so a fresh 18. It's not much difference. I don't know that Van Allen was a stranger to all this, as far as the scene, the studio stuff, because she, remember when Charles, or maybe this was all after she met R. Kelly, because remember when Freeman said he knew of her as hanging out with that talent at the hotel? It's like she had a reputation for that. It was what he was trying to say, I guess.
Oh, I remember that.
So I'm assuming maybe that didn't start happening until after she met Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I always thought, that it was after she met him that the reputation came about.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
mm, this is just crazy.
Well, I'm gonna end this. I actually, I gotta go somewhere, but I will be back tomorrow,
Okay.
y'all. Friday, we will do, a little longer and a little later. So I know there's a couple people at work right now that want to come in, but I appreciate you, Queen, so much.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love to you. That is Don Hazel E. Everybody, the chat,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you to the chat, the mods,
Yeah.
everybody in the bushes. Thank you for coming and hanging out. We will be back tomorrow with more of Lisa Van Allen's testimony, cross examination. I guess Bonjean is going to be up, child. So, that's going to be something. But yeah,
Yeah.
go in the member channel if you haven't. I'm continuing the transcript readings, and yes, Fairy Warrior has blessed us, so we have more transcripts. So we will continue with the mom, the IRS agent, and the mom tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm out of here till tomorrow. Peace.
All right.